This is the 2021 Tesla Model Y long range. Now, the significance of the Model Y comes from the word sexy. The S comes from the Model S, the E comes from the Model 3, the X comes from the Model X, and the Y. The Y comes from the Model Y. Now, the Model Y's specifications. For the long range model, we have a range of 326 miles. We have a horsepower of 425. We have a 0 to 60 of 4.5 seconds and a price of approximately $45,000. Now, for the performance model, we have a range of 303 miles. We have 455 horsepower, a 0 to 60 of 3.6 seconds, and a price of approximately $50,000. Now, something you'll notice about this Model Y is that it has the upgraded wheels package. Now, the package is about $2,300 or $650 per wheel. Now, something that I especially love of the Model Y is how wide it is from the back. Okay, since we're back here already, let's go ahead and take a look at the trunk. Now, to open the trunk, all you have to do is push the button right above the license plate, and it opens automatically. So as you can see, we have the third row option right here. Now, to lower the third row, all you have to do is you push this electric button on the right shoulder. Okay, you do that and it comes right down. All the seats are the same way, second row and third row. See it again? Voila. Now, something you'll notice is that this piece in the middle, the center, comes down individually. Okay, so all you do to bring this one down is you pull here and you pull it down. So if you have something long that you want to put in here, but also want a 4-seater, then perfect for you. And same with these. These come down as well. You use the shoulders to bring them down. All right, taking a closer look at the back, we'll see that there's some extra storage underneath this that is very deep. As a point of reference, here's the Amazon box. And yeah, you could fit plenty of those in there. All right, closing this. We also have extra storage on the sides. And we also have another one on this side. We also have a 12-volt right here for charging. Now for the 5-seater, you would have extra storage in here as well, but we have the seats, which is why we don't have the extra storage, and which is why the 7-seater has less cubic feet than the 5-seater. That is why. Now, something you'll notice about the rear seats is just look at that leg room. Now, there is a way to adjust the second row so that you could give the third row more leg room. Now, to adjust the seat, all you have to do is you pull the lever underneath the seat and you can move it either forward or backward. And that one has its own individual latch underneath the seat as well. Now, something you'll find with the Tesla Model Y, especially with the third row option, is that space is not going to be too abundant if you are seating a full car with 7 people. Thing is, if you try to accommodate everyone, no one is going to be accommodated. Now, to give you an example, we have provided the third row seat with an adequate amount of room, and we're going to see how comfortable it is sitting with the seats this far up. Now, something I noticed here is that with the seats this far forward, you have to do a certain maneuver to get your foot out. Now, if you go just straight like that, it's gonna get caught. So you have to lift this part up and get this out, and then you do the same and you come through. Now, something about these seats is that they are vegan leather, so there are no animal byproducts in them. Now, the other interior color scheme for the Tesla Model Y is the black, just plain black, which is nice and simplistic, and I like it. But if you really want things to pop, then the black and white will do you well, because it really helps the car pop. And what I mean by that is just take a look at the front. So if you want the best of both worlds, you can go with the black and white interior color scheme, and you have the simplicity of the color black, but also the color white and its ability to help the car pop. Another thing that's just incredibly beautiful about the Model Y is the panoramic glass roof. Now, the good news about the panoramic glass roof is that it's tinted. So the sun being directly overhead has no impact on you. Like right now, as we're shooting, the sun is directly above us. Now let's go in the third row seat and see how comfortable it is. Is it really a viable option for long-term trips? Now, sitting in the third row seat, I have to say that even giving the second row enough space to be comfortable and what seemed to be enough space in the third row to be comfortable, this is not enough space. My head is literally touching the glass roof right now. There's no space. I have to hunch my neck down actually a little bit so I can fit. Then we have knee space, which I don't have any of. Now I have to say that the third row in the Tesla Model Y is not feasible, but I could see this working for younger children. Now to close the trunk door of the Tesla Model Y, all you have to do is you push this button right here and voila, it closes by itself. All right, now that we're done with the trunk, let's take a look at the front. Now to open the front, we have to go into the infotainment screen, as you can see here, to open the front. And it's also a place to open the trunk. Now that we have the front open, all we have to do is come here and pull up. Something you'll notice is it's on hydraulics, so it's very easy to lift. Something else that is noteworthy is there is no typical latch that you have on other cars, where you open the hood and you have to unhook the latch in order to get it up. This one is very simple. With the Tesla, all you have to do is this. The front has 4.1 cubic feet of space. So now we have a good amount of space in the front. Now it's not going to be as spacious as the trunk, but as you can see, it's plenty of extra room if you need it. And it's pretty deep and wide. Now a few changes for the 2021 Model Y is auto dimming lights. So when the side mirrors sense that there's light being reflected into them, they automatically dim. And the reason they do this is to reduce eye fatigue and driver distraction. Another update to the Tesla Model Y for the 2021 year is dual pane windows. 2 wireless chargers instead of the one in the 2020 model. Now, something noteworthy about the Tesla Model Y is its raised seating position. As you can see, what Tesla did was they put 2 wedges on each side to stack the seat on top of it to give the driver and the rest of the occupants a higher position of seating. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to take a few walks around the car to see how long it's going to take Sentry Mode to pick me up. So I don't know if you can see that, but it says Sentry Mode activated on the screen. So Sentry Mode is basically a security system for the Tesla, okay? It has cameras in the front, in the rear, left, and right side. It gets good coverage of the car. Now, when someone approaches a car when Sentry Mode is activated, it starts recording them and it informs them that they're being watched. And we have a report. Now with Sentry Mode, what Tesla does is it records the last 10 minutes from the point that Sentry Mode was activated. And here's the footage. As you can see, we have the front camera, the rear camera, the right camera, and then the left camera. So if there's nothing being shown, that's which camera is being on the widescreen. So we can move it to the front, we can move it to the rear, we can move it to the right. And there I am. But the Tesla also has a dash cam feature. This is the dash cam feature. As you can see, we have our rear and then we have our left and right side. So if you find yourself in an accident and the other driver is trying to blame you for the accident, well, you have the footage to back it up. Okay, taking a look at the infotainment screen, coming over here. So something about the infotainment screen is everything is in it. Everything. You will find yourself doing everything within the infotainment screen. Okay. Right now, actually, this steering wheel is too low. So when I come into the car, I always bang the upper portion of my thighs on the steering wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust them so that that doesn't happen anymore. And I'm going to do that by going into steering. And then I'm going to use this dial right here to move it up, move it down, left to pull it out, right to keep it in. Now I'm going to move it a little bit up, and I'm going to move it a little bit out. And voila. We're going to save that. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to fix the windows. Now to do that, we're going to go here to mirrors, and then to do the left one, we're going to use again the same button here. Okay, we're going to scroll up to move it up, and then we can move it to the left a little bit. And voila, we got that side all done. And then now we can do the right side. Right side, we're going to move it a little bit to the left, a little bit up, and voila. Now the glove box is typically opened with a little handle, right? Not in the Tesla. In the Tesla, you're going to use the infotainment screen. And then you can close it by just closing it normally. We have the typical window locks, the child locks. We have the window wipers, faster settings to make it go faster. Let's turn it off because it's not raining. Okay. Then we have recording. And something to note is that for recording, all your recordings are going to be in here, this USB stick right here. And this is manufactured by Tesla. And then we have Sentry mode, which we discussed already. All right, moving to pedal and steering. We have acceleration at chill and standard. So if you're just cruising, you could set it to chill. Not us. We like a little bit of power, so we're going to keep it at standard. For steering mode, so if you just want to cruise, you are going to be using the chill and the comfort options. Now, if you're someone who likes a little bit more power and responsiveness, you're going to go with the standard acceleration and the standard or sport steering mode. Sport steering is for when you want that responsiveness. As for stopping modes, we have the creep, the roll, and the hold. Now, the one that we're using right now is the hold, and the reason we're using the hold is because of its regenerative braking capabilities. When you pull your foot off of the gas, you're actually braking slightly. And that braking sensation is recharging your batteries, which is extending your range. And something noteworthy about the hold feature is that at a stoplight, you don't have to physically press the brake. On the hold option, you can just lift your foot off of the gas completely and the car will brake and hold the car at a brake for you. And then we have charging. Currently we're at 40%. Our charge limit is at 80%. Now you can set your charge limit at whatever you want, but it's recommended to keep it at 80% or less, because if you go any higher, it's going to damage the batteries on the car. So keep that in mind if you do end up getting one of these. Now, some other cool features on this page is it shows you how much you paid on your last charging session. For us, we paid $23.52. This is also the place to open your charge port if you ever want to charge. Then we have autopilot. Now, our Model Y has the full self-driving. Now, with this, it allows the car to drive you virtually anywhere by itself. All you have to do is you input the address here. Now, let's say we want to go to a charging port and we want to go to this one. So it tells us that there are 4 stalls available out of the available 20. Now, to get moving, all we have to do is we click here and we would be on our way. So I'm going to show you exactly how it is for autopilot to operate. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start the car. We're going to put the brake on the car. We're going to put the key card here and we're going to put it into drive. So now what we're going to do, we're going to drive off. Okay, now that the car is out on the road, we can activate full self-driving. And we're going to do that by pushing this down twice. And now autopilot is activated. Okay, we got to keep our hands on the steering wheel or it will deactivate. So we're going to do that. And as you can see, it's driving by itself. No feet on the pedal, no steering. I'm just holding it so it knows that I'm there and it doesn't deactivate. And we're just letting it drive. It's gonna drive for us. Now, sometimes you have to note with these sort of systems, they're in their early ages. So it might miss a turn here or there. Now, the system is still really early, so it does make mistakes, even mistakes that you would think that the car should have down by now, but it does other things well. Like right now, it's changing lanes by itself, which is remarkable, and it's doing good. It's pacing the car. I really love the animation of the little rainbow lights on the infotainment screen that you can see right here. That's a really nice touch. And something else that you'll notice is the lights. When they're green, when they're red, the car actually alerts you when you're at a stoplight and the lights are red. It lets you know it lets you know that the light is green or red by letting you know that it is time for you to go. See, like right now it's doing some weird maneuvers. Doesn't know what to do. You see? It was doing some weird maneuvers. But still, it's in its early stages, so it really doesn't. And now we're going to be turning. We're going to see if we get in. So yeah, it tried to merge in there. It couldn't merge. So now it's trying to. It can't quite get there. And we're going to be redirected. All right, so we got a right turn coming up. Let's see if it makes it. It's going to stop. It's going to check for traffic. It sees the light is green. And it's gonna go by itself. See, red light. You can see on the screen that there are red lights. And then when it's green, it's really, really neat that the car could distinguish between green and red lights. It's just something that's awesome. It knows by itself. Now I try to signal to go that way, but I guess it's changing its mind. It's because it sees the car there, so it doesn't know if it should go or not. You see? So it's trying to make the turn. It can't decide to. That's the problem with this. It doesn't know what to do. It gets indecisive sometimes. See, green light, and it goes. It doesn't know to make a right turn. I guess it is going to make a right turn, but it doesn't know what to do. And it makes the right turn, and we're good to go. All right, so now we're going onto a freeway. Let's see how well it handles it. See how well it distinguishes the cars. We have SUV there, what was correct. We have cars, Teslas. We have, well, that's the hatchback. All right, so now we're going to make our turn. The light is green. It's staying, and now it recognizes it, and it's taking it. We're going. Yeah, and we're going. It knows that the cars are merging, so it's going slower, which is nice. Wow. It recognized that the lane was merging, so it didn't go quickly. So the reason it was going slow there was because of the speed limit. As soon as we crossed that line where the speed limit was 55 now, the max is 63 in this case, then it started to pick up speed. Now this symbol right here lets you know that autopilot is activated. It's what is driving the vehicle right now. Now to adjust the maximum speed, what you can do is you could move this up or down. See, down, up. We're gonna adjust it to 70. See, we have a car coming up. We have two cars on our left. They're right there. We have a car coming up to our left. Oh, it was a pickup truck. See, we knew it was a pickup truck before it even came up to us. Wow. Amazing. Now, something else that the Tesla Model Y can do is you can tell it to do a signal for you. So let's say we want to go a little bit faster. I just signaled and it's going to change the lanes for us. It's like directing the car to do what you want. And now it's going to pick up speed. If you see that lanes are open, you can steer the car in that lane so it can pick up speed. Right now we're doing 67, 68. Our max is 75. Like right now we have our right lane open. We can tell it to steer into the lane. It'll do that for us like so. So right there was telling me to apply slight pressure to make sure that I was still there. And you let it know by just applying slight pressure to the steering wheel, moving it left and right, and that reactivates the system. If you do not do what it's prompting you to do, it deactivates the system. This really is a treat. A car that could drive itself. It can take you from one place to another. All you have to do is you insert the destination and it'll take you there. It will change lanes for you. It can get you from street to freeway to street. It can navigate anything, almost anything. We have 1.2 miles left until our exit, or 1.1 now. So I'm gonna go into the right lane. Sometimes, like I said already, it's not very good at getting off at its exit. There was a time yesterday where it was supposed to get off, but it didn't recognize. Right now, it tried braking because it thought that this was the exit, but then realized it wasn't. So the system isn't perfect, it makes mistakes, and we're gonna be getting off at Roland Drive, which is here. So let's see if it did it by itself. I was gonna do it for it, but it did it by itself. And let's see how good it is at getting off. All of this by itself, it's gonna maneuver all of this and get us to our destination, which is there. And what are we gonna do? Yep, it got into the right lane. Awesome. Now we're gonna have to get into the rightmost lane to make the turn to get into the charging station. Okay, it's going a little fast around, and it sees the cars in front of us and it brakes. See, and then something else you'll notice is you can actually see when the cars are braking in front of you. It tells you right here if the car is braking or not. It tells you what it's doing, stopping for stop sign, and then it's gonna go after it checks that there are no cars. Now our turn is coming up. It's gonna be on the right-hand side, and let's see what Tesla does. This is our turn, and it did it. Now you can see the steering wheel is kind of okay. Okay. And it's going to stop here because we are already here. Autopilot navigation complete. So what it did was it put the car into a stop just here. And now let's go charge the car. And then to deactivate the system, all you have to do is you push on the brake and it deactivates the whole system. Now, something else you'll notice is it has sensors to tell you how close or far away you are from objects. All right, and now to charge it, all we go is here. We go to charging like we talked about already, and then open charge port. And now we charge. That should be close enough. Okay, good. So now that we're charging, you can see how much time is remaining to charge. And that is taking into account the 80% limit. And it tells you how many miles per hour you're charging for. And then you also have the location where you're charging at, the price per kilowatt hour, and your session costs so far. So I hope that you guys liked the autopilot preview of what it could do. Then we have the speed limit warning, which is the speed limit that we set here, 80 miles per hour. Now going over to the locks tab, we have keys. Now the keys are the different keys of the Tesla. So we have one key here. Another key is the phone. So this is a key card that you can use to unlock and lock the car and also drive the car. You set it here because there's a sensor right here that lets the car know that the key is there, and then you can turn on the car. If I try to turn on the car, I can't do it right now, but if I try to turn on the car without the key card in that place, it won't start the car. It has to be there to start the car. Now the other key is the phone, and you can use your phone to activate the car. There's a lot of functions that you could do via the Tesla app. You can lock the car, unlock the car. You can prep it with the right temperatures. So let's say it's really cold outside. You can preheat the car. If it's really hot outside, you could pre-cool the car. So in the Tesla app, it says that the rear two seats of the third row, that they do have the heated seats. But if we come into here, you can see the seat that we're in right now, the left driver's seat, left front driver's seat, right front passenger seat. And then you can also see the steering wheel is heated. If we go to the rear, we'll see that the second row is heated with 3 increments, just like the front. But in the app, it says that the last 2 seats in the back of the third row are heated. But here it tells a different story. It doesn't show them. So perhaps there's an update coming where we get that functionality, because remember, the Teslas, they're like phones. They get updates all the time, and it really makes the car better and it adds functionality. So something to think about. Now, something we have in the Tesla Model Y is the Entertainment tab, which is the theater where we have the Netflix, Hulu, the YouTube, the TikTok, everything, even tutorials to learn how to use your Tesla. Then we have the arcade mode, which is a place where you can play all types of games. Now, to show you how it is, let's play Beach Buggy Racing 2. Chill. Now, the cool thing about the game is that you use the actual brakes and the pedals. You use the actual brakes and the gas pedals in the car and the steering wheel. Oh, whoa, this is different. Okay. Okay, this is... Oh, sorry. This is very different. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. See, and then the thing that you'll know... What the heck just happened? Now, the thing you'll notice with this is that the steering, the wheels on the outside of the car are actually moving as I'm moving the steering wheel. This thing is incredibly hard to move. Jesus. Oh my God, okay. Okay. Okay, this way. Oh man, how am I last? Jesus. Okay. And it's fun. Very interesting game. And as you can see, there's a lot more games to play. And then we have Toy Box. Toy Box is a place where you can edit how your car looks here. And a few honorable mentions. We have the emission. Farts. Then we have the romance, which turns up the heat, plays this nice little video for you. Something else that it does is it heats up the seats. Now we're going to be looking for a place to do a few pools. Now, something you'll notice is that the navigation screen is incredibly responsive and quick. Just look at this. Now, we're going to look for a place with plenty of curbs, plenty of turns, and plenty of straights so that we can test everything out. The handling, the speed, and the acceleration. So now we're going to be taking it on the highway and we'll get a good chance to see how it handles, how it turns, how it speeds, and we are off. It is really quiet in here. Really, really quiet. Now, right now I have the car on autopilot. It's a really nice feeling to just sit back and relax and really just watch as the car deals with everything for you. All right, we have a straightaway. Let's see how this thing runs. Let me just see how quick it is. Ooh, man. Number one. That was pull number one, and it was very, very nice. All right, another pull, we're clear. Just zooms. That beautiful view to our right. So the suspension on this is pretty good. There are some bumps here that are really, really noticeable if you don't have a good suspension. And this car is gonna take it pretty well. You see right here is where they are, and it's very, very tolerable. See, another one, very tolerable. This thing handles it really nice. Here's another one. See, the suspension on this is really, really good. It has tight turns, so we'll see what we find once we get there. Never been there, this is the first time, so luckily we get lucky. Now, this car is going to be a perfect car for a teen because it has the speed limit feature on it. You can limit how fast they're going, and you get notifications if it's going over the speed limit. Very good feature for a first-time driver who is young and likes to speed. This is the reason why this would be a perfect first car for a teen. Then it would be a perfect car for an elderly person as well, because it has a high point of entry and exit, making entering and leaving the vehicle a breeze. If you have bad knees, bad back, this car with the high point of entry and exit is easy to get in and out of. Lastly, we have the family. To have 5 people in this car, you'll be very comfortable. There's enough space for everybody. Now, when we're putting in the 3rd row, that's where problems happen. With the 7-seater, it's not gonna be comfortable if you have full-size kids, but if you have little kids, it's very much manageable. This thing handles well. Look at this, through a corner. Just wow. This car you would expect to be very heavy, but it's not. The braking is very responsive, very tight. In the sport mode, it's wow. Look at this. This is a perfect car for everybody, especially the tech enthusiast. They have power, they have speed, they have responsiveness, they have acceleration, they're high tech. There is a lot to love about the Model Y. The thing with the Model Y is it doesn't look fast. It looks big, it looks wide, it looks bulky. But the thing is, it can move. It surely can move. All right, guys, so we found the windy road. And so now we're gonna give it a try. Let's go. Now let's see how the Tesla Model Y does on handling. Wow, this thing just comes out of corners so nicely. Regenerative braking to the rescue. I love this. Very tight corners, and this thing is a boat, and it's moving like it's not. It's very incredible what we have been able to do with cars today. The way it comes out of the corner is just amazing. Tight turns. Just look at this. Regenerative braking doing its thing. We slow down. Look at that view. Tight corner coming through. Tight turn. Nice movement. Responsive braking. Tight turn. And let me remind you that this isn't a sports car. This is a family mid-size vehicle. This is what it's for. This is not supposed to be moving this quickly through corners. It is not. This is not what it was made for. A car this large that weighs this much to be doing corners that quickly is just amazing. Look at the view, guys. Look at that. Wow. This incredible car with this incredible view. Jeez. So if you're somebody looking for a fast car, a car that's efficient, a car with top-notch technology, this should definitely be on your list. All right, guys, well, that's this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more content like it. I'm really looking forward to any feedback you guys give me to make these videos much better for you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.